Imagine this. You're standing in the middle of a bustling marketplace in ancient Athens, the air thick with the scent of olives and dust, the hum of voices swirling around you like a restless tide. Merchants shout their wares, philosophers debate in the shadows of marble columns, and women in flowing tunics weave through the crowd, their laughter sharp and beguiling, their eyes catching yours for a fleeting, electric moment. You feel a pull, an intoxicating mix of desire and unease. One of them smiles, her gaze holding a promise of something you can't quite name, something that feels like destiny. But as you step toward her, a voice cuts through the chaos, steady and ancient, like the rumble of a distant storm. It's Plato, the philosopher whose words have echoed through millennia, and he's warning you. Beware the enchantress who lures with beauty, but binds with illusion. You freeze. What does he mean? Why does this warning feel so urgent, so personal, even now, thousands of years later? Here's the paradox that claws at your mind. You live in a world that celebrates connection, love, and partnership. Yet you've never felt more lost in your relationships with women. You've been taught that attraction is natural, that romance is the path to fulfillment, that a woman's beauty, her smile, her voice, her presence is a gift to chase. But what if that chase is leading you not to happiness, but to a labyrinth of illusions? What if the very thing you're drawn to is the thing keeping you trapped, unable to see the deeper truth about yourself, about her, about the world? Plato, in his timeless dialogues, warned of the dangers of being seduced by appearances, of mistaking the shadow on the cave wall for the light of reality itself. And when it comes to most women, he saw a pattern so pervasive, so deceptive, that it could derail a man's quest for wisdom, purpose, and true understanding. You felt it, haven't you? The way a fleeting romance can consume you, filling your days with dizzying highs and crushing lows, only to leave you emptier than before. You meet someone, she's captivating, her laughter like music, her touch like a spark, and suddenly you're all in, your world revolving around her. You think she's your muse, your salvation, the answer to the loneliness that's been gnawing at you. But then the cracks appear. Maybe she pulls away, leaving you chasing her approval. Maybe her beauty masks a chaos that drags you down. Jealousy, manipulation, or a neediness you can't fill. Or maybe you realize you've been chasing an idea of her, not the real her, and now you're left wondering who you even are anymore. Why does this keep happening? Why do you feel so drawn to women who seem to lead you astray? And why does Plato's warning, spoken over 2,000 years ago, still echo with such chilling relevance? The tension is unbearable. You want to believe in love, in connection, in the stories that say a woman can complete you. But Plato's voice lingers, a reminder that there's something you're missing, something you've refused to see. He's not saying all women are the problem. He's saying most women, and most men, live trapped in illusions, chasing shadows instead of truth. What are these illusions, and why do they hold such power over you? What did Plato see in the dynamics between men and women that you've been blind to? And what does it mean for your search for meaning in this chaotic, modern world? There's a hidden force at play, one that's been shaping your relationships, your desires, and your very identity since the day you were born. Let's uncover it and see what Plato was really warning you about. You're standing at the edge of Plato's warning, feeling the pull of attraction and the sting of unease. wondering why the women you chase so often lead you to disillusionment. The hidden problem isn't the women themselves. It's the illusions you've been taught to chase, illusions that Plato saw as a trap for the soul. These illusions are rooted in ancient philosophy, modern psychology, and the societal forces that shape how you see women, yourself, and the very idea of love. They're the reason you keep falling into the same patterns, and they've been steering your life in ways you don't even realize. Plato, in his Symposium and Republic, warned that most people live in a cave, mistaking shadows for reality. When it comes to relationships, you've been conditioned to see women through a lens of illusion, what he called the sensible world, the realm of appearances. You're drawn to their beauty, their charm, their ability to make you feel alive. But Plato argued that these are mere shadows, fleeting images that distract you from the deeper truth of the intelligible world, the realm of ideas, wisdom, and true connection. You've been taught to chase the surface, a woman's smile, her laugh, the way she makes you feel desired. But what if that surface is a mirage, hiding a deeper reality you've been too afraid to face? What if your attraction isn't to her, but to an idea of her, an idea that keeps you from knowing yourself? Philosophically, this aligns with Arthur Schopenhauer's view of desire as a source of suffering. Schopenhauer believed that human desire, especially romantic desire, is a blind force, a will, that drives you to seek fulfillment in others, only to leave you unfulfilled. You see a woman who seems perfect, and you think she's the answer to your loneliness, your insecurity, your need for meaning. But Schopenhauer would say this is an illusion, a trick of the will, that keeps you chasing what can never truly satisfy. The more you pursue her, the more you lose yourself. Because you're not seeking her true self, you're seeking a projection of your own desires, a shadow on the cave wall. Psychologically, this problem runs deep. Your brain is wired to prioritize beauty and attraction. It's evolutionary. The amygdala and reward centers light up when you see a woman you find attractive, releasing dopamine that makes you feel good, urging you to pursue her. But modern society amplifies this instinct to a dangerous degree. From childhood, you've been bombarded with images of ideal women, on billboards, in movies, on social media, teaching you to value appearance over substance. This creates a cognitive bias called the halo effect. You assume a beautiful woman is also kind, intelligent, or perfect for you, even when the evidence says otherwise. Ever wonder why you keep falling for women who don't align with your deeper values? It's because your brain is chasing the dopamine hit of attraction, not the reality of who she is. Society doesn't help. Aldous Huxley warned of a world that commodifies desire, turning love into a transaction. Today, you see it everywhere. Dating apps reduce women to profiles, filters make everyone look perfect, and cultural narratives tell you that a woman's value lies in her beauty, her ability to make you feel like a man. You're taught to seek a trophy, not a partner, a woman who validates your worth, not one who challenges you to grow. But this chase leaves you empty, because you're not connecting with her true self, nor with yours. Jean-Paul Sartre would call this bad faith, living as if you're a product of these illusions, not a free being capable of choosing real connection over shallow desire. The hidden force at play is this: you've been conditioned to chase illusions of women, not their reality. And in doing so, you've lost touch with your own truth. Plato saw this as a tragedy. A man who chases shadows can never reach the light of wisdom, the light of purpose. You think you're seeking love, but you're really seeking escape. From your own fears, your own emptiness. your own lack of self-understanding. The tension is mounting. You can feel the ache of these failed pursuits, the frustration of relationships that never fulfill you. But what happens if you keep chasing these illusions? What happens if you never see past the shadows, if you never heed Plato's warning? The consequences are deeper, darker, and more destructive than you might think. Let's uncover them and see what's truly at stake. You've been chasing shadows, caught in the illusions Plato warned about, seeking purpose and fulfillment in the surface of women, their beauty, their charm, the way they make you feel. But the cost of this pursuit is far greater than you've realized. These unseen consequences aren't just moments of heartbreak or fleeting disappointment. They're reshaping your life, your identity, and the way you move through the world. They're like a slow poison, seeping into every part of you, keeping you trapped in a cycle of emptiness you can't seem to break. On this Saturday, May 17th, 2025, at 3:35 p.m., it's time to face what's really at stake. First, let's look at your mind. When you chase the illusion of a woman, her idealized image, the fantasy you've built around her, your brain gets stuck in a loop. The dopamine hit you feel when you're drawn to her beauty or her attention keeps you hooked, but it's fleeting. When the reality doesn't match the fantasy, as it never does, you crash. Your brain floods with cortisol, the stress hormone, leaving you anxious, insecure, and obsessed with winning her approval. You might spend hours overthinking a text she sent, or feel crushed when she doesn't respond the way you hoped. Ever wonder why you can't stop chasing women who don't truly fulfill you? It's because your brain is addicted to the chase, not the connection, and that addiction clouds your ability to see what you really need. This doesn't just affect your emotions, it changes how you live. You start making choices based on the illusion, not the truth. You might stay in a toxic relationship because she's beautiful, ignoring the way her chaos, maybe her unpredictability, her emotional distance, drags you down. You might pass up real opportunities for growth, like pursuing a passion or building deeper friendships, because you're too focused on winning her affection. Or worse, you might lose yourself entirely, molding your identity to fit what you think she wants. You stop asking, "Who am I?" and start asking, "Who does she want me to be?" Plato would say this is the ultimate tragedy. A man who chases shadows loses his own light, his own path to wisdom and purpose. The consequences ripple outward, shaping your relationships with others. When you're caught in these illusions, you project your unmet desires onto every woman you meet. You might see every attractive woman as a potential savior, someone to complete you, and when she doesn't, you blame her, calling her shallow, manipulative, or cold. But the problem isn't her, it's your lens. This projection creates a cycle of resentment, mistrust, and disconnection, not just with women, but with everyone. Carl Jung would argue that this stems from a failure to integrate your own shadow, the unexamined parts of yourself, like your insecurities or unmet needs. When you don't face your own inner chaos, you see it in others, and the world becomes a mirror of your unresolved pain. Society amplifies this cycle. The modern world, as Aldous Huxley predicted, thrives on illusion. Media bombards you with images of perfect women, airbrushed models, curated influencers, reinforcing the idea that a woman's value lies in her appearance, her ability to validate you. Cognitive biases like the availability heuristic make you overestimate the importance of these ideals. You see them everywhere, so you think they're the standard. You're conditioned to chase women who fit this mold. even when they don't align with your deeper values. And when they inevitably fall short of the fantasy, because they're human, not illusions, you're left disillusioned, angry, or numb, searching for the next woman to fill the void. The stakes are higher than you think. Every moment you spend chasing these shadows is a moment you're not living your true purpose. You feel it, don't you? The emptiness that lingers after another failed connection. The quiet ache of knowing you're meant for more. You're not just losing relationships, you're losing yourself, your chance to live a life of depth, wisdom, and real connection. Plato's warning isn't about women, it's about you, about the danger of losing your soul to illusions. If you keep going like this, what will become of you? What will happen if you never see past the shadows, if you never break free from this cycle? There's a way out, a path to reclaim your truth and find the connection you've been seeking. Let's take that step together and see how to break free from the illusions that have held you captive. You've seen the cost of chasing illusions, how the shadows Plato warned about have kept you trapped, draining your clarity, distorting your relationships, and pulling you further from a life of depth and meaning. But on this Saturday, May 17th, 2025, at 3:37 p.m., here's the rebellion that can set you free. Stop chasing the shadows and start seeking the light of truth within yourself, within women, and within the connections you build. This isn't about rejecting women. It's about rejecting the illusions you've been taught to see them through, and in doing so, reclaiming your power to live authentically and love genuinely. The first step is to turn inward. Plato's warning isn't really about women. It's about you, about how you've let illusions define your desires. You've been chasing an idea of women, a fantasy of beauty and validation, instead of seeing them as they truly are, complex, flawed, human, just like you. But to see them clearly, you need to see yourself clearly first. Ask yourself, what am I really seeking when I chase these women? Is it love or is it escape? Are you drawn to her because of who she is or because of what she represents? A cure for your loneliness, a boost to your ego, a distraction from your own fears. Grab a notebook right now and write down one thing you've been avoiding about yourself. Maybe it's the fear that you're not enough, or the shame of a past failure. This act of honesty is the first crack in the cave wall, the first step toward the light Plato urged you to seek. Now, reframe how you see women. Stop looking for the perfect woman, the one who fits society's mold of beauty, the one who makes you feel complete. Instead, look for the real woman, the one who challenges you to grow, who shares your values, who sees you for who you truly are. Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "We love life, not because we are used to living, but because we are used to loving." Shift your focus from loving the illusion to loving the reality, her quirks, her passions, her humanity. This means letting go of the dopamine-driven chase for surface-level attraction and seeking deeper connection instead. Next time you meet a woman, don't ask, "Is she beautiful enough?" Ask, "Does she inspire me to be better? Do we share a vision for life?" This rebellion against illusion is a rebellion against shallow desire, and it opens the door to relationships that are meaningful, not mirages. Practically, this looks like small, intentional changes. When you catch yourself obsessing over a woman's appearance, maybe you're scrolling her Instagram, fixating on her latest post. Pause. Take a deep breath and ask, what do I know about her inner world? What are her dreams, her fears, her values? If you don't know, find out. Have a real conversation, one that goes beyond flattery or flirting. Share something true about yourself, a fear, a hope, a lesson you've learned, and see how she responds. This builds a connection based on authenticity, not illusion. Neurologically, this shift reduces the stress of chasing unattainable fantasies, lowering cortisol levels and allowing your brain to focus on what truly matters: real, reciprocal connection. Historically, those who broke free from illusions found deeper meaning. Think of Socrates, Plato's mentor, who sought truth over appearances, even when it cost him his life. Or consider Viktor Frankl, who in the horrors of Auschwitz found meaning not in external validation, but in his inner purpose, his love for his wife, even when separated by death. You can do the same. Stop seeking women who validate your worth and start seeking those who challenge you to discover it. This rebellion isn't just about relationships. It's about reclaiming your identity, your purpose, your life. It won't be easy. Society will push back, rewarding shallow attraction with likes and attention. Your own instincts will fight, craving the quick fix of a beautiful face. But every time you choose truth over illusion, you grow stronger. You start seeing women as partners, not prizes, and yourself as a man of depth, not a slave to desire. Plato's cave is behind you now, and the light of wisdom is ahead. As we move to the final truth, you'll see how this rebellion isn't just a way to break free. It's a way to redefine love, connection, and your place in the world. Are you ready to step fully into that light? You've broken free from the illusions, stepped out of Plato's cave, and begun to see women and yourself with new clarity. You've stopped chasing shadows, choosing instead to seek the light of truth, building connections based on authenticity rather than fantasy. But on this Saturday, May 17th, 2025, at 0:38 p.m., here's the ultimate truth that Plato's warning leads you to. The real danger isn't women. It's your own refusal to know yourself. True connection, true love, and true purpose come not from seeking the perfect woman, but from becoming the man who can see, love, and live in the light of reality. This revelation redefines everything you thought you knew about relationships, desire, and your place in the world. Plato's warning about most women was never about women themselves. It was about the illusions you project onto them. Illusions born from your own unexamined desires and fears. You've spent your life chasing an idea of love, a fantasy of a woman who completes you, because you've been afraid to face the incompleteness within yourself. Carl Jung would call this a failure to integrate your shadow, the parts of you you've ignored, like your insecurities, your need for validation, your fear of being alone. When you don't know yourself, you seek yourself in others, turning women into mirrors for your unresolved pain. Plato saw this as the ultimate trap. A man who chases illusions can never reach wisdom because he's running from the one truth that matters, his own. The ultimate truth is this: you don't need a woman to complete you. You need to complete yourself. True connection comes when you bring your whole authentic self to the table, not when you seek someone to fill your gaps. This means facing your shadow, just as you started to in the rebellion. It means asking the hard questions. Why do I feel incomplete without a woman's approval? What am I afraid of if I'm alone? What do I truly want, not from her, but from myself? When you do this work, you stop seeing women as saviors or trophies, and you start seeing them as equals, complex, human, capable of meeting you in a real, reciprocal relationship. Sartre would call this living in good faith, choosing authenticity over illusion, freedom over fantasy. Psychologically, this shift is transformative. When you stop projecting your needs onto women, you break the cycle of dopamine-driven chasing and cortisol-fueled stress. Your brain calms down, allowing you to think clearly and feel deeply. You're no longer obsessed with winning her approval, because your worth isn't tied to her gaze. You might find yourself drawn to a woman, not because she's the most beautiful in the room, but because she shares your love for quiet mornings, or because she challenges you to be kinder, braver, more honest. This isn't the shallow rush of infatuation. It's the steady warmth of real connection, the kind that grows roots deep into your soul. Philosophically, this truth aligns with Marcus Aurelius's Stoic wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The chaos of the world, its beauty standards, its romantic myths, its endless distractions, can't control you anymore. You stepped into the light of Plato's intelligible world, where truth, not illusion, guides you. You don't need a woman to give your life meaning. You give it meaning by living as your true self, and that authenticity becomes the foundation for love that's real, not a shadow on the wall. Imagine this. You're standing in the same ancient marketplace, the one where Plato's warning first struck you. The women are still there, their laughter still bright, their eyes still captivating. But now you see them differently. You're not chasing a fantasy. You're looking for a partner, someone to walk beside you in truth. The noise of the market fades, and for the first time, you hear your own voice, steady and clear, guiding you toward a life of depth and purpose. You're not a prisoner of illusion anymore. You're a man who knows himself, who loves from a place of wholeness, not need. This truth demands courage. The world will still tempt you with shadows, beautiful faces, fleeting thrills, the promise of easy validation. But you've seen the light, and you can't unsee it. Every time you choose authenticity over illusion, you create a life that's yours. A life where love isn't a chase, but a shared journey. Where purpose isn't a woman's gift, but your own creation. Plato's warning has led you here, to a truth that sets you free. Know yourself, and you'll know love. Step into that light, and let it guide you forward. You've walked through the shadows Plato warned about, faced the illusions that trapped you, and uncovered the ultimate truth. True connection and purpose come from knowing yourself, not from chasing a fantasy of most women. On this Saturday, May 17th, 2025, at 3:38 p.m., you've learned that love isn't about finding the perfect woman to complete you. It's about becoming whole, stepping into authenticity, and building relationships rooted in reality, not illusion. You're no longer a prisoner of the cave. You're standing in the light, ready to live and love as your true self. Start today. Take one small step toward knowing yourself. Grab a notebook and write down a fear or need you've been projecting onto women. Maybe it's the fear of being alone, or the need to feel enough. Then ask, how can I face this within myself? It might mean spending 10 minutes alone reflecting on what you truly value, or having an honest conversation with a woman in your life, sharing something real about yourself. These acts of authenticity are how you break free, how you create a life and relationships that feel deeply yours. How does it feel to see beyond the shadows? Share in the comments. What's one illusion you've chased, and what step will you take to live more authentically? Your story could inspire someone else to break free. If this resonated with you, hit the like button. It lets us know you want more content like this. Subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss our next dive into philosophy and self-discovery. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe a friend caught in the same cycle of chasing illusions. The world will still tempt you with shadows, beautiful distractions, fleeting thrills, but now you know the truth. You're not here to chase illusions. You're here to create real connection, to live with depth, to love with clarity. Step into that light and build a life where love isn't a trap, but a shared journey, one that starts with you.